This seminary is a theological seminary that shifts, makes transitions, it liberates. It forces you to not just speak and be considerate of the person's spirit, but of person's situations. This is an institution that seeks to make change, that seeks to set free those who are oppressed, and who seeks to transform one by one from the inside of the institution to the outside of the institution. I tell you, if you come to the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology, you will have no regrets.
Embrace the challenge.
Enjoy the journey at the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology
at Virginia Union University.
Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome to the final. This is it. I'm not doing any more of these until June or, until academic year 25-26. I even speak the language now. I'm not doing any more of these. This is the last one. And I'm going to tell you why this is the last one. Because these three people are going to exhaust me so much till I ain't going to do this no more. I'm just going to
That's right.
I've already determined. I'm tired just being with them in the backstage. No, forget that. I'm tired of being with them for the last 2.5 years. So and I can't, I'm so excited to get rid of them in the MDiv, but they're going to show back up real soon. And I'm excited. That I am excited about. Okay, that means that I'm extremely tired. I'm just talking off the top of my head. My name is John Guns. I am the Dean of Samuel Proctor Theology of Virginia University, the leading historic Black theological institution in America, one of the most significant theological institutions, bar none. And I am so honored. I all that stuff I said before, I was joking. These three people are absolutely phenomenal, for real. So I need you to go ahead and start sharing and telling everybody, hey, jump on. Because tonight you're going to hear from three significant people who made a decision at a stage in their life where their life was, God was doing something with them, but they felt this need. So I'm going to have them to introduce themselves. We're going to start with the lovely lady. Then we're going to go to Brother Tim. Then we're going to close with Brother Jeff. And listen, in the seminary, you are not bishop. You are not prophet. You are not prophetess. You are brother and sister. You are your first name. And so the first thing is, if you can't leave your title on Lombardi, you may not want to come to us. You might want to go to wherever you go, because we are community, and we don't care about any of that kind of stuff. So let's start with you, sis. Your name is?
I am Sister Lexi Allen from Detroit, Michigan, and I am graduating on Saturday. And coming to VUU, honestly, is one of the best adult decisions that I've made in my adulthood. And I'm a big ripe age. And to say that, and I've experienced a lot of great things, but this by far is probably one of the top 5 things that I've done in my adulthood. And I am privileged and excited. I didn't know I was going to be this excited, because I try to be a gangster and I, try to, not do all the emotion and all that. But when I started getting like super excited, the closer graduation came, it hit me. I really did this thing. And I don't know what else to say. I'm just really.
You did this thing.
I'm proud of myself.
No, for real.
School.
No. I have the unofficial transcript to prove.
Wow.
You did this thing.
Thanks.
So, all right, Tim, and then Jeff.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dean. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Timothy Williams, and I am located in Hampton, Virginia, originally from Rochester, New York. And this week, I will be having the honor to walk across the hollow and sacred grounds of Virginia Union, completing my Master's of Divinity And I am excited for so many reasons, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into them later. But I have such a story to tell tonight, and I cannot wait to share it. And why you all who are listening tonight, if you have not been here, you need to be enrolling and coming to this prestigious school. So once again, I am Timothy Williams, and I'm excited to be here with my cohorts, my sister, my brother, and of course, our very only Dean, Johnny Guns.
Tim, I am going to give you I'm going to pick you up on my shoulders and carry you across that stage. I am. Jeff, now,
Hey everybody,
when y'all see me looking down, it's because I'm sharing and that kind of thing. So
Oh, that's okay, dude. We know you nodding off on us. It's all right. We'll give you a pass. But listen, hey everybody.
In about 10 minutes.
Jeffrey Broughton here, originally from New Jersey, but I pastor one of the greatest church in the greatest state, the first state of the United States, which is Delaware. And I'm just excited to be with you on tonight, to share on tonight. I'm excited that I'm graduating on this week as well with my brothers and sisters and many others on this coming Saturday. I think I'm going to try to do a half cartwheel across that stage. Nah, I'm just joking, but I may do a moonwalk. I may do the worm. I may do something because y'all just don't know what I had to go through to get to this point. And I'm just grateful to God and excited. And Dean, I actually cried yesterday in service because it hit me that it is here. And I'm grateful for this experience. And I hope others will be encouraged to take this same journey in this path that we all did together. Thank you.
So, why? And we'll start with Lexi. Why? I mean, because I know at least two of you I had direct contact with in the decision-making process.
That's correct.
Right? I mean, yeah. So I am, some of your classmates are saying, I'm gonna do a holy fit and I'm gonna run across there. They lost their mind. Lexi, why? You are Lexi. You got like 100 million followers on Instagram.
Every time he says that, the number gets bigger and bigger every time.
I know. You're
on some money now.
It's stupid. Yeah. You're one of the most creatively funniest people and amazingly gifted. Like if you just did music without any of the other stuff, you're that person. And if you just do the other stuff, you the church lady. Oh, the show I actually watched, which I'm mad because Jeff and Tim, I told her because another season coming, I told her to give me a cameo, and she didn't. She's so funny acting.
Wow.
Praise Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. So let's get your narrow butt up and wash your behind and go to church. Mm-hmm. That's right. I actually say that to my members now. So why? Please tell us why.
That's a tricky question because didn't exactly know why. But it's just never, I've never been able to rest about that thing. My late husband and I started taking classes at Moody together. We enrolled in a class, and our first class was Old Testament. And then my husband got sick, and then we fought cancer. And when he died, I just was, and I tried to go back to Moody about 5 years ago. I enrolled, I got accepted, and I started, and then before the classes started, I wanted to get ahead of things, and I started looking at the curriculum. It was nothing that I wanted to learn. It was weird. I didn't like it. I actually went up to the school and talked to them about it. I said, well, what is this? I don't like, I'm not stupid, but I don't understand what this is. They were like, yeah, I said, this is not for me. And I dropped my classes and I just shrugged my shoulders because I wanted it, but there was something that wasn't a fit for me. I can't explain it. And then years later, I'm having dinner with my friend, Pastor Welton Smith. And we're eating and he goes, I said, well, so what's up lately? You know, because we always do that and keep up. He said, I'm taking classes. I said, taking classes where? Because we've always talked about you going back to school. He said, I'm at Virginia Union. I said, Virginia Union. He said, yeah, it's in Richmond. I'm taking online classes. And he said, Lex, you should do it too. And I said, I don't have the time, you know. And he said, I'm telling you, I'm doing it, Lex. You know I'm busy. He said, matter of fact, you know, I got a Dean John Gus. I said, you talking about Bishop? I said, he used to be on the Word Network. I signed him up on the Word. I said, get him on the phone. I just want to say hi. By the time we got off that phone, he told me, do this, apply here. I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to send somebody to talk to you. And in 2 weeks, I was in class.
Yep.
I got my reference letters. I sent my transcripts and all that. And I was in class and I was all gas, no brakes. I took a 2.5, 3-year program and I finished it in 1 year and 4 months. And because I loved what I was learning, I was so excited about learning and being at an HBCU, which I had never been at. God, this answer is long, but this is how I feel about it. And coming on campus, we can talk about that. Again, coming from a PWI and going to an HBCU and learning what I wanted to learn. Like there's this book back here. I never would have got this book. I never would have read this. This is a great book. And just, it's like I was in touch with my Blackness. I could go on and on. I mean, I got so much, but I just got real excited. And that's why I was able to pile on the classes. And yeah, it was tiring, but it kind of wasn't, because I was learning stuff that I wanted to learn from teachers that I really liked and admired.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a long, boy, that was long.
No. That is that. And it's interesting because no one's story is short.
Mm-hmm.
Not at our stage.
Right.
You know, and for you to share about your husband, which I didn't know the extent, and it's been amazing to watch you be relentless. Like just relentless. You know, I mean, one of the first times you couldn't get in class, and you called me like 87 times.
I did.
No, seriously. Hey, Tim, she was in Detroit. I thought this Negro was going to get on a plane, fly out of Virginia Union to talk to the ID person, and then get back on, you know, and then get back on the plane to go back so she could take her class.
True story.
No, for real. It was to the point that I told my wife, I said, if Lexi called me one more time, I'm resigning from the school. I can't. I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But when you see that kind of hunger, it really inspires everybody around you. And I'm gonna come back to you because it's something that you did for our school that in my 3.5 now 4 years, I haven't seen anybody do it to that extent. So Tim, talk to us, man.
Yes, sir. So coming to Virginia Union, I actually came in, and it's so interesting because we came back after the pandemic. And this is when we were actually able to come on campus. So I can remember formation and coming into the chapel, and it was Dean Guns and a few of us in that formation. And so it was like the beginning of the beginning again, because it's after pandemic, but it's like a new birth in a way, because we're all coming back to the campus and we're all, you know, just getting back into the groove of just being in each other's presence. But coming here, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know why I was signing up, because I was looking for my footing. I had been preaching, I had been pastoring, I had been in tried for my stuff for my real estate. I had did the hospitality, I had did the property management, and it just seemed like I could not find my landing, my footing, And ministry was something that I knew that I could do, but I knew that I needed more, that it just wasn't going to start or stop with what I was already doing. And I thought I knew a lot about what I was doing until I got into Virginia Union. And I'm Pentecostal, holiness background, but I realized that my footing that I was looking for was right here. And
Wait a minute, hold on, back up.
Yes,
Tim.
sir.
You were what, or you are, what's your, I don't want to say denominational background, but what's your background? You are what?
Pentecostal, holiness background. Yes, sir.
Now, you know that makes you it makes you different, but not as much anymore.
No. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And so when I found myself here, I was looking for that, and I honestly needed this for me because I found myself in a cycle of starting but not completing.
Wow.
And not only that, but I am, out of my sisters, my family, I am the first Black male to have achieved this level of education.
Wow.
So I broke 2 cycles. And this is why it was so important for me to get in, finish it, and stay focused.
Wow.
Because I had a goal that I was aiming for. And I wanted to be better and not just average or like anybody else. I wanted to be better. And me coming here, honestly, has improved so much.
Wow.
And has allowed me to see things in a different aspect and to be able to take what I've learned in the seminary and to apply it to my context and still not lose who I am. It is just mind blowing.
So I just got a text from Dr. Paul D. Flowers Sr., who said he gonna run all around the chapel this week. I can't do these people. Man, the comments are just crazy. They're like, oh, we're gonna miss you guys. Oh my God, class ain't gonna be the same. And listen, I'm telling y'all, y'all are something special. Tim, that's amazing, man.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Don't you have a relative that's now in the school, or
No, I've invited a few of my colleagues that have actually, committed and joined in, and there's some more that are joining in. They're actually going through their process and receiving their letters to come back for August and stuff like that. So we have some people that we've definitely invited to come and be a part of this.
I appreciate it. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Jeff,
Man, listen.
with the cross in front of his name.
Listen.
I know what that
I
means.
think that was a typo error. I was trying to type my name and my fingers are
There ain't no typo, Negro. We know what it means. That's hilarious. I love it.
Listen, my why, man, listen, we don't have enough time to tell you my why, but if I had to cut across the field and be honest and transparent, Virginia, I'm one of the biggest fans of this institution. Number one, for just the ground and the legacy that it is built on, the history, the culture, the community, but most importantly, it filled a void that was in my life. And that really made a difference in identity and identifying who I am, what I am, and what I'm going to and continue to be. And I'm grateful that I have a community of people around me. Terry Hill is one of my best friend, very close friend, and he was already enrolled in Virginia Union, and I was at another institution, and we were having conversation, and he was just telling me all the great things that he was experiencing. And I kind of got a little, envious because I wasn't having that same experience where I was at. And then Dean Guns, you came and you ministered for us here at our church in January. And when I said the void, because you said something that if I was to go ahead and tattoo myself, I'll go ahead and just get this tattoo somewhere on my body. But you said, and I don't know if you remember, you were in the pulpit preaching, and you were talking directly, personally to me, as I felt that you said what you can do in 2.5 years, do not allow it to become an eternity of regret. Meaning, if you don't activate and make this move now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. And I'm just so glad that I stepped up and I did what I needed to do, because I needed to hold myself accountable. I made sure that my children, both of my children, have earned master's degree. I make sure people in my church, I signed up majority of my leaders for the extended leadership that we had at Virginia Union, the Leadership Center. They all went through the program and got certificates. And I was told by one of my spiritual fathers, says, Jeff, you can do great in ministry, you can do great in business, you can do great in life. But if you don't have those letters at the end of your name, that opens up spaces and places and seats at the table that you would not even imagine. So that's one of my whys, why I'm here today. And it changed my life tremendously. And I'm looking for more.
So first of all, I want to thank all of you, because I don't know how truthful I need to be, but when I walked in July 21, I felt the burden, I felt the cloud over our school, and maybe it was my own interpretation, maybe it was conversations I was having. I know that the school had 2 or 3 deans in the course of a 5-6 year period. And there were just things that we were trying to manage as a school. And I walk in, and I mean, I'm a first time dean. I had no higher ed experience, and I'm not, now I'm doing pretty good. I think there's hope for me, right? But it was interesting. One of the things that I brought to this table was God had blessed me with relationships over 36 years, relationships. And so as I look at the 3 of you, I see the power of relationships, because each of you are here because someone that you knew impacted you, and now you're in the business of impacting. And I want to say this, and then we'll just kind of, Lexi, y'all, has made School of Theology look like it is social media savvy. Like,
Yes.
Like the videos.
Big time.
Yes.
I mean, she's just, and it's crazy. That's a part of our energy now. Like that's who we are now. We are this school that is on the cutting edge of messaging, so much so until the wider university now says, Lexi, help us say who we are to the world. And I want to say thank you, because I'm not a social media guy. Like, seriously, Tim and Jeff, whenever I don't get likes and views, stuff that I think is deep, I get like 2-3 likes and views. My own children and wife don't like my stuff. The only time I get likes and views is when I put my grandchildren in a picture. And people, oh, ain't that cute? They don't even look at me. They like, oh, look at her. So pretty. Oh, look at them. I say profound stuff, and people be like, okay, let me go to the next thing. I mean,
I don't know, Dean. You was preaching on Sunday, and you was going blows and all that. You was serious.
Yeah, that's rare. They won't see that for another 7.5 years. That'll be my retirement message. Because after I got finished, my wife said, "You okay? Do you feel okay? Where did that come from?" So tell me, and I'll start with Jeff, and then we'll go back to Tim and Lexi. Tell me, Jeff, why should someone disrupt their life for this? Because really, this is a disruption. This don't really, come on, Lexi, like real talk to him. This don't fit, Jeff. Jeff, you got 87 things going on.
That's a good one.
This is a disruption. And that's why some people who claim to be so doggone busy don't finish, because they don't know what to do with a disruption that grows them.
Wow.
Because they think every disruption delays them. Some disruptions save you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, Jeff, Dude, you got the cross in front of your name. You were a leader in reformations. You have businesses. You have a thriving church. You got a beautiful wife and 2 incredible. Why disrupt your life and keep disrupting it?
Yeah. Because you said the key word, growth. You have to get to a place in your life that you know that you desire more, right? And you need to develop in some areas. And so sometimes, that disruption is something that is needed, that you have to have that take place in your life in order to get you to your next. It's called those labor pains, right? Yeah, and so I knew within myself that there's things that God wants to continue to do for me, not just in ministry, but even in the marketplace, in relationships, at spaces and places and tables. And I knew that I have to go through these growing pains. I'm going to have to go through these labor pains, and I'm going to have to give birth to some things. So sometimes you have to have those troubled waters in your life, and that disciplines me. And so having that disruption was able to discipline me to sit for 4 hours in one space in the room and with my camera on and interact. But going through that was stimulation. It was maturity. It changed the way that I thought. It changed the way that I spoke, changed the way how I respond. And so it was a good disruption. And it helped me now manage all of that other busyness, because let me tell you something, truth be told, I resigned from a lot of things when I enrolled into Virginia Union University, Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology, because I knew what my priority was.
We got to come back to that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a major statement. Tim, and then Lexi.
And I will echo exactly what he was saying, because one thing for me was that time management, but the major piece was impact. When I came to Virginia Union, my very first class was impactful. So just me experiencing that one moment of that, it was like, well, this is what I've been looking for the whole time. This is the emptiness. This is the peace that I was trying to find, but I knew where I wanted to go. And like you said something, Dean, most of the people that sits in our pews now, they have master's degrees, they're educated, and I knew I needed to do better for me, because I also wanted to be in that place of growth and then also impact. So me coming here, I had to also adjust my life to be able to fit what I needed to accomplish in. I could not keep hold of some of the things that I was doing and then try to fit this in. This was a needed disruption. And so me submitting to the disruption, it aligned me for what I needed and what is going to propel me for next. And the emptiness, it wasn't a matter of just being empty because I didn't have nothing to do. It was the emptiness of yearning more growth. Because sometimes we can just get to a place where we feel like we're capped, or we got it all, or we just arrived to a place. But no, there's a place where you can pivot. And I was lacking the right platform or the right space to pivot. So when I came to Virginia Union, that's what I found. That moment, that space to pivot.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could smack you in your head right now, you found the right. I can't even say it like you. Anyway, Lexi, I'm coming back to that. That you okay. Do y'all see how smart these people are that go down school? Well, probably smart before they came, but they real smart now. Okay.
And that's why I came, because I figured ain't none of y'all smarter than me. So let me come here and prove it. And let me see what I can do, because when you have a platform, and I'm not being funny because I don't think, anyway.
Child, we know.
I'm not that person. But when you do have a platform and people know who you are, a lot of people ask you to come and speak. And I always turned that money down. I did it for years because I never, ever wanted to be someone who got up and said something that was out of order or wasn't right, even though I've been in church all my life, I know how to do it. I know how to get you on your feet. I know how to shout you. I know how to do church. I know how to do it. But what I didn't want to do is have the responsibility of someone asking me to speak. And then I might be in error in some way, thinking I knew what a scripture meant, but not really knowing. And that was my point of going back, because I knew I was smart, but I knew that I didn't know enough. And I wanted to know what you guys knew, because I can tell a joke. Yeah, I can sing. Yeah, I can do this or that, but I don't know what y'all know. And I want to get that. And I want to prove to myself that I can retain it, that I can do it. And with a 4.0, you got the transcripts.
I see it. I mean, slow down, though.
Huh? What'd you say? And
You may want to pull mine too while you at it.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. No, I am really impressed. Why the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology? Tim's the only one close. I mean, Delaware is what, 4 hours?
About 3.5. Yep.
3.5, 4 hours. I mean, but Tim is what, an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Lexi is
a plane ride.
Plane ride.
Ain't no driving there.
No.
Right.
No.
Why the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology? Listen, it's an HBCU, so it comes with HBCU issues.
Yeah.
You know, it comes with infrastructure challenges. It comes with, and I don't lie to people about that. It comes, I mean, we have a lot of amazing people who work at our school, but it still comes with these challenges. Our president is a visionary par excellence. He really is. But it comes with challenges. It comes with challenges. And yet you three are about to walk across the stage of the A.B. James Chapel on Saturday between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, right? Why HBCU? Why Virginia Union? Why the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology?
My two cousins, I'm an only child, but my two cousins both went to Spelman. And one is married to a guy that went to Morehouse. And so they always teased me this entire time, that I went to Bowling Green State University. They teased me this whole time. And we would do this thing. I was like, go State College. And, they would just say what they had to say. And so we've always had this thing. And so when the opportunity came and Welton told me that you were there, you were my deciding factor to come. It was you. Dean Guns, it was you. You're the reason why I'm at Virginia Union. You're the reason. And the HBCU was a driving factor. It was like 50-50. It was you, and I got a chance to finally do it. And the door was open, and I ran through it. And that's why. Yeah.
No, you didn't run through it. You knocked the door down, do you got in the room, you rearranged it. Yeah. And it's been an amazing journey. Watching you all has been an amazing journey for me.
Dean, I want to say also to kind of echo with Sister Lexi was sharing, Virginia Union became very reachable and attainable compared to a lot of other institutions out there. The way that it was packaged, the way that you go on social media and you see just about everybody. I didn't even know so many people that were graduating coming up this week until I went on Facebook and I saw faces and names and people that I didn't even know that were already posting about it. And so this school and this institution has made itself readily available. And then the legacy and the history that has flowed through it, through the generations, down through the years. And just to know that we were able to sit and be a part of what our ancestors and many of them before us have went through, and the struggles that they had faced, just to know the history of how the university was even purchased. That was why Virginia Union for me, that was so very relevant and very important, that I needed to be here. And I'm telling you, it's been life changing. And I know Lexi said, and I'm done, she did a year and 4 months. Mine's is a year and 3. So I just want to just leave that right there with the cross in front of my name.
And we went from meaningful to petty.
What, girl?
How did you do a year and 3?
We not go.
Grace and mercy.
I'm gonna let you two who are doing like a Grammy winning videos. I'm gonna let y'all talk about that offline.
Okay.
I stuck to the process, Dean. I stuck to the process. I did mine in the 2.5 years. So
Bless your heart.
I stuck to it. Because I and then when I came, the thing is, one, it was close, but I was able to fit in. I was at intensive that I wasn't even registered for, to be able to just come on campus.
He still do that.
I was at formation. I was at chapels. I was just there for the campus experience because I felt like I missed a lot of that when I was pre-40ish. And so now that you get to this age, and I think we all are like, oh my God. Now that we're at the end, many of us are sad because we did it for the grade, but now we're realizing the relationships and the connections that we have made during this time. And we realize that for many of us, we won't have this after this week. The classes and getting on, and then being able to come to intensives and sit with each other for a week, after today, after this week, we don't have that. And so for many of us now, we're saying, oh my God, we wish we can continue because now this is real. This is the end of this journey, but why the HBCU for me and Virginia Union, it was so important for me because I felt like where I was going and what I needed, this was the place where I was going to get it. We love the Black church with all of his glories, with all of his woes. But what we don't really do is we don't tear down, even with the woes that we see within the Black church, because that is a part of our context and that is who we are. We are the Black church. And the same way with the HBCU school, with the glories and even the woes, we're continuing to build upon the bricks that are already laid, not take away from the bricks that have already been established. And so that's why Virginia Union was it for me, and why I'm going to continue with Virginia Union for my next phase with my D-men, because I want to continue to add to the bricks, but I also want to be able to give me back to the institution, not expecting anything in return, but to add what I can to make the school even better.
That's right.
So I'm sitting here trying not to cry. Let me tell you why I'm trying not to cry. Because I'm mad at y'all. Let me tell you why I'm mad. Because every time it seems like too much, I talk to people like y'all. And y'all remind me why I'm the dean. It's interesting because, Tim, I'm a 2-year graduate. I mean, I'm a 2-time graduate of school of theology. When I went to Virginia Union, it was 1988.
Wow.
And I graduated in 1991. So the cohort, Lexi, was about 17 of us total. Like the class of 1991 was no more than 20 students. We were all struggling young preachers, most of us. We would go to Lee's Chicken and buy 8-piece with 9 people. The math was terrible, right? The math was terrible. The math was horrible. But it's interesting when I went, I finally decided to do my D-Man. It was 2005, so 14 years. And what was interesting was when I stepped back into this, the reason I went back to Virginia Union was I felt like there was something left that they owed me. And it wasn't classes and degrees. It was like I didn't maximize those 3 years. I got a great degree, got a great education. It changed my life, that all that stuff. But when I went back and got my D-Min, I was blown away by the fact that there was so much more that was in that school, in those professors, in my classmates. And then when I became the dean, I understood that not only was there so much more in the classes and the professors, it was so much more in the spirit of the community.
Yeah.
Because what you will become a part of on Saturday is since 1941. With blood, sweat, and tears, the seminary has existed. But since 1865,
Yeah.
1865, built on a jail, a former slave jail, is Virginia Union University. Not government property that they gave to us, but a woman who was broken in slavery, but because of who she was, the owner of the property felt the need, and she allowed us to share her blood. Virginia Union is not lucky. We are still here because God meant for us to be here. And then God keeps sending people like you guys. Lexi, what's next for you? That you walk across the stage, you do whatever that dance is you did in the street with that white outfit on. Oh my God. I just laughed. I showed my wife. I said, this is why we need the drug test. Yeah, and I'm not saying she does drugs, but the behavior, the behavior warrants. Anyway, so
D-Min.
What's next for you?
D-Min, for sure. I don't want this ride to end. There's so much, like I feel like there's so much more that I need. It's almost like I got a teaser. I got a little bit of it, and I want more. I want more education. I want to learn more from the professors. I want to see what Stephen Blunt is talking about. I want to see what Dr. Patricia Gould-Champ is talking about. I'm not through with them yet. I want to squeeze some more out of Dr. Howard and Flowers, and maybe even Waffle Wanaka and Kim. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, they're gonna be around. Don't not get twisted. They're gonna be around.
I know. So that's, there's more. So D-Man for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's next for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, rest. I need rest. I'm tired. My brain hurt. But definitely I want more. I'm amped up. I'm ready to go. I'm locked in. I'm ready to start this D-Min journey. I want to do more with myself. I want to lecture. I want to teach. I want to write books. I want to travel. I want to explore. I want to be able to get the whole benefit out of this experience. And so, as Lexi said, I want to be able to come back, because I think that even though that we did it so quickly, there's so much more that I need to develop, grow, learn, and experience. And I'm just looking for more of that experience, Dean.
I get you. Tim?
Yes, sir. And mine is the D-Min as well. I'm graduating from the chaplaincy track. So I was going to this year go into the Navy, because after I would have earned my Master's of Divinity through Virginia Union and going through this chaplaincy track, which allowed me to gain my CPE units as well, it was going to allow me to go into the Navy as a O3, which is a commissioned officer lieutenant, making $140,000 a year. So I've been kind of processing that journey, but right now what I have landed is going to do hospice chaplain, but I'm going to be doing my D-Min while I do hospice chaplain.
Wow.
And so we have a group of us, Dean, that we all talk to each other. So we are committed to following each other into the D-Min program. So it's like a group of us that have been talking about this, off the scene and stuff like that. And it's going to be a group of us coming out of this, going right back into it. So I'm definitely going into that as well.
Let me let me give you the greatest encouragement to do. And all of y'all who are watching, I've been watching. The numbers have been phenomenal tonight. People are reaching back out to you. You're doing an amazing job, y'all. So for all y'all watching, for y'all, let me give you the reason why you need to stay committed to the journey of genuine. Here it is. John Guns. John Guns.
Well, Dean, I know you're going to be ready to say something, but I want to say this seriously, because you said that it was your words that stayed in my mind when I was on the verge of quitting, like every day in my head. All I kept hearing you say, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. So because of who you are and what you have given unto us and what you have spoken to our life, you're right. It is Dean John Guns.
And you know what? Also to that, Dean, you gave us something. You gave us something coming in, which were, I don't even know if you remember it, but I wrote it in my book and I was looking for it. It was those core competencies.
Yes.
When we first came in, those competencies that you told us, I want you to write these down because you're going to hear this echo throughout. And when you get to the end of your journey, I want you to go back and look at these. I think it was like 4 or 5 of them. And I want you to see where you are at the end versus to where you started. And I was popping up everywhere you was at. I mean, it didn't matter where you was preaching, whether you was, Newport News, if it was at Hampton. I was just popping up because I wanted to be just that close to the experience as I could. So
we need to be critical thinkers, effective communicators.
That's it.
Public theologians.
Yes.
Advocates for social justice.
Yes.
And transformative leaders.
That's who we are.
And that's what we are.
That's who we are.
Let's go.
Let me tell y'all why I said John Guns. And here it is. In 1988, when I came to school of theology, I was a very naive, young 23, 24-year-old. Insecure about who I was. My dad and my brother were, rather successful. My brother had graduated from the School of Theology back then. It was a School of Theology. He graduated. He was second in his class. He still struggles with the fact that there's some woman named Portia who beat him out by 0.001. And he was just, I know, seriously, this dude over in his 70s and can remember this woman. And I said, dude, she probably, whatever, calm down. Right? My wife is hiring. My wife just wrote, yes, notes, Lexi.
Yes.
But it was interesting. The School of Theology gave me the confidence to not belittle my own insecurities, but to learn to grow from them. I'm not the most gifted preacher. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and that's okay. I'm good with God, and God's been really good to me. Right. Well, when I went back to do my D-Man, I literally dropped out. I dropped out like Jeff. You talking about you drop out? I know what dropouts look like because I dropped out 3 times in my mind. Where my advisor was Dean Emeritus Kenny. He was my D-Man advisor. Wow. He chose to be my D-Man advisor. Because when I preached Hampton Ministers Conference in 2001, he sent me a handwritten note that says, you are what School of Theology is trying to produce. I still have it.
Wow.
Well, here was the crazy thing. One day he picks up the phone and he calls me and he says, John, where are you? And I said, I'm in Washington, D.C. preaching. I was preaching for Willie Wilson, right? And he said, get in the car and come to the residency. Come to the residency. I said, Dean, I'm preaching. He said, find a ride and come to Richmond from DC. I was angrily, offendedly grateful that this man, with all these other students, would make me accountable to my destiny. The first day I walked in, and my wife is up here now, but I walked into the office where Dean Kenny has served, and I walked into the office of the dean, July 1st, 2021, sat down behind the desk. And the Lord said to me, what if you had quit? He said, if you had quit, this door wouldn't have been open.
Not at all.
So I had to go back and thank God for Deborah Martin and Sharon Grant, my assistant at the time, and Dean Kinney, and every person that worked at that school that from 1988 to 2009 made sure that I gave something better than me. I'm the reason you ought to come here, because if God can take an insecure young preacher and make him the dean, what can God do with you? Yeah. See, I'm the product of what a Black school produces, because Black schools don't give up on their students.
That's right.
Y'all know that y'all built relationships with faculty.
That's right.
That's right.
Right.
And each other.
And
Yeah. And the other piece is, and truthfully, and I'll say this, when I planned this, I said, Alexi, Jeff, because I've been talking to them about doing some other stuff. They said, Tim. So what that said to me, Tim, was that you were so important to this dialogue because these two felt like you were necessary for them to be complete in conversation.
Wow.
And what many of you who are watching right now, and it's up to 80, I mean, it's crazy. What many of you who are watching right now may not understand, that have never been to a school like Virginia Union, is that imperfections don't break you. They shape you if you see them through the lens of possibilities.
Wow.
Yep.
Every imperfection grows you, whether it's organizationally or internally. And the thing that blows me away about Lexi and Jeff and Tim is that I've watched the three of them in journey, and one word defines all of them: relentless. Relentless. And so you're right. Tim been everything. I was walking in Keys one day. Tim had a lawn chair sitting in the hallway talking about something. We ain't got no class or nothing. Y'all ain't got no intensive. Is there a meeting? Then you gotta go to this dude. He's right. I was like, who is this Negro? He just goes away.
It's hilarious.
If he doesn't show up, I'm gonna be like, Tim, what's wrong with you? Right? But these three are choosing to continue. Yeah. Because I don't care where you go. There's nothing like the experience of the School of Theology.
That's right. That's right.
I agree.
Okay. I want to close because I'm hungry and I'm tired. And and my wife and I got to get up in the morning and drive to Savannah State to pack up our daughter. Right.
Wow.
So we'll start with Lexi. Lexi, what is your word to those watching who are on the fence?
Yeah, get off the fence and just and do it. Just get off the fence. There's nothing more to be said. It's one of the best decisions that I've made in my adult life, and that's why I get on. That's really the reason why I get on social media and I talk about it, because a lot of people feel like Jeff said, I put my kids through school. It's over for me. It's over for me. I've done my time. Maybe they did undergrad, maybe they didn't. But I know this. I know a lot of people that hit me up. These are just the ones that I know that have access to me. So chances are there are many that I'll never know. But those that have access to me have texted me, have called me and said, you have inspired me to go back to school. And they've enrolled. And if they didn't enroll at VUU, they enrolled in the school that they didn't finish.
That's important.
I promise you that. And I'm talking, these are people that did not finish and said, Lexi, because they thought at their big age, because they're doing life and life is going good without it. And so they figured out their life without it and they don't need it. But because they saw me do it, they were like, because it was something that was nagging at them that didn't really let them go, but they had okayed themselves with it.
That's powerful.
And so now it's nudging them because it really never went away. So if you're on the fence and it never actually went away, that means that you have some unfinished business. That means that you need to do it. That means you need better. Here's the thing with somebody, I think my mom told me this. She said the years are going to pass anyhow.
Wow.
I never forgot that. Lexi, the years are going to pass either way, whether you go to school or not. So you might as well get an education. That's what she said.
That's right.
And she'll be here, and she's more than excited. My mom is a doctor. I come from a family of doctors. My mom is a doctor. My uncle, rest his soul, is a doctor. My aunt is a doctor. She'll be there too. So I'm the creative one. So I really never had to, because life opened up in a different path for me. But when I got this opportunity, I can become a doctor too in my own way.
And you will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that godly. Hey, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Deontay, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Riley
Yes.
said, I'm a current student at SCVU because of Timothy L. Williams.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
That's good
Yes.
stuff.
Wow.
And Jeff, your wife and daughter are just so proud of you. You're wonderful. You're amazing. All that kind of stuff. I love it. I love it. Tim,
Yes, sir.
they're on the fence.
Yes,
What
sir.
you gonna say?
Do it afraid. That's what I would tell them. Do
Wow.
it afraid.
Do it.
Don't
afraid.
lose the fear, because the fear is necessary for the journey, but do it afraid. And that would be my advice to them.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Jeff.
I would say if you're on the fence and you're struggling and you're trying to figure out what your next is going to be, I encourage you to take that leap, because your destiny is depending on this next decision, and it's going to impact your life. And so come on home, be a part of the process, trust the process. It's going to be a great journey, and do not allow it to become an eternity of regret.
Come on home.
Come home.
Just wrote that
That's
down.
it. Come home.
So I know she's putting the whole campaign together. This whole every time I said we will see that in the video. So Saturday, 9:00, you walk on the field, you sit down, we have this experience, and then at 1:00, you have this precious sacred moment. You walk across the stage, and all the people, Lexi, who didn't get to see the first time, all of the ancestors that will be looking down,
Jesus,
parents, the siblings, the spouses, the friends, even the enemies. Tim, when you walk across that stage, and I hand you that degree cup, and you walk off, I promise you're going to sit there. And for about 30 seconds, you're going to go, wow. Really, God? See, I close with this. Graduation is the most important thing of the year for me, because I get to see the people who trusted me, trusted our faculty, and trusted each other. And there are faculty members watching, so I thank God for the Queen Mother, and Denise Jansen, and Paul Flowers, and Nathaniel West, and James Harris, and Kim, and Wafa, and Mackenzie. Don't forget Mackenzie.
Oh, yes.
And
No, you can't.
he won't let you.
And Smith, and Sanders, and all these people, and then these amazing adjuncts, and all these people who have made it work. My daughter, Lexi, loves you.
My namesake.
Your namesake, and she's in the school. She's trying to graduate next year.
Okay.
So now listen. Last year my wife graduated. So when she walked across stage, I kissed her. I kissed her dead in the mouth. I meant to too. And somebody wrote a letter. Hey Jeff, somebody wrote a letter on me saying how unprofessional it was for him to kiss his wife. Then, of course, I told the wrong people, and they wanted to go find the person and beat him up.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it's funny. When my daughter walks across that stage, done. I don't care what nobody say.
That's
done.
right.
Because I'm seeing that my journey is producing generational opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
listen, so on Thursday, Lexi and I are going to be ministering, doing our, I'm calling it graduation chapel, but doing our closing chapel service. Dean Price has asked me to preach on Thursday at 11, and Lexi will be singing as well. And so it's going to be an amazing time. Man, listen, and my birthday is Friday. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
get to hang out. I get to hang out with some of my favorite people. And so listen, my name is John Guns. I'm the Dean, Center for School of Theology, and I am the Dean of Lexi, Jeff, and Tim. And
Yes.
they are the reason why you need to come to GU.
That's right.
Nothing like them.
Yeah.
I'll be blessed. Hey, Lexi, Jeff, Tim, I'll
Yes,
see
sir.
y'all in a couple of days.
Let's
Yes,
go! We out! We out! We out!
Every time Jeff hollers,
Yeah.
Okay, she done lost it. Hey Tim, that's my fear, son. Saturday. That's really my fear. When
Yeah, we gonna cut up.
Be
you gonna
afraid.
catch the Holy Ghost for about 30 seconds, and
Yeah.
we gonna have to cancel everything. And
Yeah.
then he can put a shot.
Yeah.
That's it. We going in.
See, I'm telling y'all, when Pentecostals are in your school, Baptist folks just get their stuff and go sit down and they quote the Bible. Y'all gonna go to shouting and jumping and
That's it.
speaking in tongues.
That's it.
So now school theology is so confused because it's Baptist in history, but it's Pentecostal in future.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Pentecostals.
That's what it is. I love you guys. Thank y'all for trusting
you.
us with the next 3 years of your life too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because of you, there are some of your classmates who are going to also do the D-Man. And listen, I know some of y'all went to other places. I ain't mad at you. I get it. You know, everybody said they need other experiences. Okay. I get that. All I know is that every anniversary I go to Ruth Chris because it's the best for that experience. I'll leave you with that.
Wow.
We love you guys. Take care. See y'all Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Sunday, Saturday. Lord,
Woo!
balloons. I don't know how he did that. Love you guys. Class of 2025.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor.
Dean Guns.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
student. Class of 2025.
Yes.
2024, they're coming for you. They're coming
Yes.
for you, y'all.
All day.
They're coming for you.
All
Take
day.
care, y'all.
All
We'll
right.
see you
All
soon.
right.